Hello everyone, this is Critic giving you a shoutcast and a replay between EG Axslav, Evil Genius's Axslav versus oGs's STC here on Metalopolis. Axslav spawning as the blue Protoss player, yeah, no drones, no creep here. Spawning as the blue Protoss player at the 6 o'clock position. STC spawning as the red Terran player here at the 3 o'clock position. Should be an interesting game. Metalopolis, a very common map, and a lot of it changes depending on the spawning locations. Axslav and STC has spawned what I call an ally spawn, so even though it looks like a very long distance because it is across the map here, it is relatively short based upon the walking distances. As opposed to having to turn a corner, you can simply just traverse along this position here and head up this ramp very easily, getting inside the base of STC. I imagine that Axslav will be setting up a pylon, setting up a gateway in just a second, and then moving out. STC, he has a number of options at this stage. It really depends on how he scouts out his opponent and what type of game he wants to play. He could go for early double racks, or he even could go for an early expansion. Reaper harassment here also works out well against a Protoss player, as the only unit that can really stop a Reaper is a Stalker, and that Reaper, since it is faster than a Stalker, it can run around and force that Stalker to not really try to push and move into your base. In comes the probe of Axslav. Axslav quickly getting sight on this SCV and dealing damage towards this SCV here. SCV already taken 20 points of damage before another SCV was there to help a brother out. Probe just still wandering around on the inside, and now you see that STC has not gone for any gas yet. So with this, he will be able to train up Marines and also get a very strong economy going. Axslav at this time could also try to train up a Zealot, and if he trained up a Zealot, he would not have to deal with anything else except for Marines very early on, and that would be very effective, as Marines do not counter Zealots very well unless they are in mass and fighting in decent choke points. SCV will be coming up that ramp. Axslav not training up a Zealot, instead opting to go for a Cybernetics core. And there is that Cybernetics core. But interestingly enough, STC, after the probe had left the base, he decided to go into double gas. So this may be a transition or a head fake into a very strong Banshee play. I do not believe that Axslav will be trying to go for a starport, as a starport would only be normally useful against heavy Marauder play or heavy Banshee play. And if Banshees are in the future, I do not believe that Axslav can foresee that just quite yet, just because he wasn't able to see that early gas coming in from oGs. We now see that factory currently coming or being built, one bunker also being built as well, a little bit away from that high ground, so it will be a little bit more difficult for any units to perhaps shoot at it from the low ground up onto that high ground. Back here, we now see that SCV perhaps trying to sneak its way out. It was able to sneak out before the sentry does make its way, and now we also see another gateway. So this is going to be a 3-gate or a 4-gate play. The key question is going to be, is oGs's strategy going to be to get some bunker or get a tech lab and go for siege tanks up on this high ground to play a natural defense, or will he try to do a heavy tech? If he does heavy tech, he may find himself on the receiving end of a 4-gate beatdown, as we are now going. Yes, we are seeing a 4-gate push coming out. We should be getting a pylon out in this group as well. So one Zealot, one Sentry, one Probe now making the trek out here. We'll be able to warp in a pylon on that high ground, warp in units all along this section, and get a very strong army out very close to his opponent. We do see that the reactor has been completed, and now you see that starport currently being built. So it looks like it is going to be Banshees. We should be getting a tech lab down on that factory. There we go. There's that tech lab. And STC has to be very careful how effective his teching will be able to do. If he falls behind to a very heavy army push coming in, and it may be a very heavy army push coming in from Axslav, he is going to have a very difficult time to get back into this game, as he doesn't have enough units to really fight back. There are double bunkers though, so double training Marines and now going for double bunkers, he should be able to fend off this attack even if there are Guardian shields in play. Zealots are relatively slow, especially without Zealot charge. Walking up a ramp against 8 Marines, and those 8 Marines will be able to make really short work, able to take down a Zealot in about 3 seconds. Oh, there's that force field. Beautifully done by Axslav, trapping 3 low ground SCVs and dealing a lot of damage to them. So nicely done by Axslav, and getting those first critical kills there. Those SCVs will not be able to mine. Taking a look at the harvester count, 25 to 28. So it was those 3 SCVs that made a fundamental difference in this fight. We now see a Banshee currently being trained, and we also are getting Cloak, but we already have an Observer being trained by Axslav, so that early Observer will be able to counter that Banshee relatively easily, as there are Stalkers in play. Sentries have a little bit of a difficult time trying to take down Banshees, as Banshees do move significantly more quickly and also have more hit points. Sentries, the only thing they have going for them are those Guardian Shields that reduce the amount of damage that they deal. One Banshee now already in the air, quickly getting a kill on a probe there, and now will force Axslav to stay or to sit over here. Apparently there was a little bit of lag in the game. As an Observer, still wandering around, able to get a lot of sight, sees that the command center is now nearing completion here, and now also seeing more barracks. So in an earlier game, we saw a lot of Marine medevac play, but now this time it's going to be Marine Banshee play. So a little bit of an unorthodox strategy, as this Banshee now returns home. It needs to decloak, save up some of that energy, and be repaired. That one Banshee, should be able to get a little bit more mileage out of it, just because should be able to get a little bit more mileage out of it, as it is now back up to full life. STC now once again getting additional supply depots, also getting a Raven. We'll see how much damage that Raven will be able to do. One pylon over here powering this gateway. Pylon should get taken down in just a second. Observer now making its way over. Stalkers now coming in and now able to shoot down this Banshee. The Banshee is in trouble as Stalkers are warping in, but the Stalkers did not warp in closely enough, and that Banshee was able to escape. Back over here though, Marines with a Banshee support able to get some damage, and now you see STC trying to set up an expansion of his own. Orbital command has already been completed, salvaging these bunkers on this high ground and essentially moving them forward once again. These with this orbital command here will be able to call down mules, get a stronger economy going, and perhaps STC will be able to keep up with the macro of Axslav. Axslav, however, has a decent sized army and a very, very large tech advantage in his army. Another pylon currently warping in to get more reinforcements. The bunker is in play. Poor SCV walking straight into his death already, and now in comes the damage. No Guardian Shield once again. There's that Guardian Shield, one Guardian Shield, but it's not even covering up half of that army. Banshee's now coming in, and now STC in a very, very dominant position here. Sentry's now trying to fight back. Down goes that Raven though, and now the Banshees need to clean up the rest of those Zealots. It looked as though, yeah, the Raven was able to reveal the Observer, and because it revealed the Observer, it's able to get some damage. Stalker's now trying to come in and now able to shoot down one of that Banshee. Another Banshee may get shot down in just a moment there. It needs the cloak. There it goes. Now finally able to cloak, and now those Marines trying to run away. SCV's coming off the mineral line. Not a full health bunker, and it gets taken down. Stalkers and SCVs now coming in. We have an Observer. The Observer was taken down once again, so 2 cloaked Banshees, and with 1 uncloaked Banshee trying to fight off this attack. And it's a very, very smart move by STC to make sure that there is no Observer in the air, giving more life out of those Banshees. SCVs now need to repair those Banshees, otherwise they are going to get shot down very, very easily as Axslav moves in once again. Getting in a lot of damage here. Marines fighting back. 1 Banshee is in the air. Will it be able to finish down this Immortal? Immortal has been taken down, but it doesn't matter as Stalkers were able to finish off that last bunker there. Stalkers now trying to move back. There are a lot of Marines here and now getting a lot of damage across the board, trying to get some damage as those Zealots are warping in. Marines getting some distance between the two as Stalkers are still being focused down. Those Immortals, however, are not a very, very strong counter, especially against those Banshees. Banshees are the perfect unit against Immortal. They deal 20 damage per round of attack against those hardened shields. And those Immortals, oh, finally taken down. A long distance backlash rocket able to take it down, and those Banshees are once again in full retreat. No bunkers in position though, as we now see Axslav taking up another base at the 9 o'clock position. Stalkers once again trying to re-engage. Banshees in the air. 4 Banshees with a lot of Marines. Marines don't even bother with Stimpak or Combat Shield, but able to fend off this attack. And now we finally see a starport coming in from Axslav, most likely to train a couple of Phoenixes, as Phoenixes deal so much damage and move so quickly. Zealots, Stalkers, Immortals, and Phoenixes, most likely. Observer already in the air. One observer watching this front door here, and now in comes this army of Banshees. Those Banshees are relatively full on hit points, and that is 6 of those Banshees. So 6 Banshees are capable of dealing a tremendous amount of damage very, very easily. And now in comes the Scanner Sweep. The Scanner Sweep cloaking on that Banshee. Banshee now trying to get some damage off. Will be able to get some damage onto some of those Stalkers, as those Stalkers now trying to come in. Marines now coming in as well, and now the Scanner Sweep hasn't revealed any of those observers. Marines now fighting back, but I think the sheer number of Banshees, while focus firing on units, is dealing a lot of damage. Immortals, not that strong of a counter. Marines need to get back in to try to shoot back against those Phoenixes. And now the Banshees are helping clean up the Zealots that are on the ground, and the Marines finishing off that Phoenix there. And now Axslav, with no way to really deal with these Banshees, may have to just try to transition into something else, as things are not looking good for him. One Phoenix did take some rounds of attack, and now in comes some Marauders as well. So a Tech Lab finally on a barracks. We do see, 5 Banshees still in the air, still racking up that damage. Probes trying to make their way in, not getting that much damage in either, as they are getting choked up on themselves, running in a single file line like they were in grade school. But yeah, choking up on themselves, unable to push past each other, allowing those Marines to just deal damage very, very easily with only 1 probe attacking at a time. Marauders, Banshees, Marines cleaning up the production buildings. Zealots now making their way in. Marauders making short work of the probes on that low ground. And Axslav says GG. So STC taking this game here on Metalopolis. Really, really well played by Axslav and STC. Many times I thought Axslav was just barely within a hair's reach of taking the win, overrunning oGs's forces, or STC's forces. A couple of misplays by STC, not repairing that bunker that was already on half-life. And I thought that would have been the death of him, but really those Banshees and a couple critical scanner sweeps revealing the observers and having the Marines take them out, allowing those Banshees additional miles, additional damage, and essentially the win. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between EG Axslav and oGs's STC here on Metalopolis.